EAW, EAW, EAW. It's in the wrestling. Extreme Annihilation Wrestling fans, I am lumped. Independent wrestling fan Robert. Survive the Night was a great show and a great debut for Extreme Annihilation Wrestling at the NYWC Sportatorium. They began with a nice video package on the screen featuring many wrestlers plugging the shows like Sabu, Dan the Beast Severn, Coco Beware, and Too Close Scorpio plugging the promotion. And in the ring there was a little table set up with a red, I don't know if it was like a tablecloth with the heavyweight championship belt in the middle of the ring. And the ring announcer, didn't get his name, he comes out and he introduces all 8 of the participants in the mat for the tournament. Nice little touch for a new promotion. And then, oh, by the way, they actually played Metallica's King Nothing, love that song, to when they had everybody coming out. Well, yeah, I think to the for that little introduction, they introduced the 8 participants of the one-night tournament. But we get on with the wrestling, and we have a first round match in the tournament, as we see the Desolate One, Rex Lawless, go one-on-one with former WWE Tag Team Champion Trevor Murdoch. Very good matchup here, which saw Trevor Murdoch defeat Rex Lawless to move ahead in the tournament. Next was another tournament matchup, as the cause of it all, Joey Conway took on former Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Cowboy James Storm, in a pretty good matchup which saw Cowboy James Storm defeat the cause of it all, Joey Conway. To advance in the tournament. Up next, they introduced Tim Herbert, the founder of the Spit the Truth clothing line. He was going to be ring announced for this next matchup, which was a non-tournament match. It was going to be a tag team match, as the Shook Crew, represented by Bobby Orlando and Bryce Donovan, come out complete with face masks and Purell hand sanitizer. Even Bobby Jr. was wearing a face mask, as they took on the Man of Steel Mike Verna and Ryan Clancy. Originally it was supposed to be Mega Muscle, Man of Steel Mike Verna and the Big O. I don't know why. I wonder why the Big O was unable to make this event. But the tag match went on, and there were funny moments where the Shook Crew had their face masks torn off, and eventually the Shook Crew defeated Verna and Clancy when some of that hand sanitizer was poured or thrown into the face of Clancy, I believe it was, and the Shook Crew got the win. And even out on the floor, Tim Herbert got into a shoving match with, was it Bobby or Bryce? I can't remember right now. But Shook Crew picked up the victory. Next up, we have the next match of the first match of the tournament, as we saw the undeniable Jack Gallo face the Sicilian Slammer in a good matchup. Before the match, they shook hands, but then Gallo gave Slammer a headbutt right to the face. Hard-hitting contest between these two men, and the Slammer picked up the win using an F5. After the match, Gallo took the microphone, and he says, "Slammer, I'm sorry, I headbutt you in the face," and offered to shake hands. And as Gallo's pulling away, Slammer gives Gallo another F5, and Slammer moves on in the tournament. Next up was the final first round match of the tournament, which saw Matt Striker substituted for Crimson as he took on what went up against Bull James. At one point, one kid in the crowd had I don't know if it was a Bull James or a Bull Dempsey action figure still packaged, and Bull took the figure away from the kid, put it on the ramp so he couldn't get it because he can't go over the guardrail. Striker leaves the ring, gives the figure back to the kid. Then Bull takes the figure, goes through the curtain, and comes back without it. Striker goes back through the curtain, and he's peeking through the curtain. He's like, "Oh, I couldn't find it." Turned out he was hiding behind. He gave the figure back to the kid. Then I think Bull tried to throw it into a garbage can, but he missed. Ended up on the floor. And at one point, Striker's like looking right at this kid, and Bull schoolboys Striker to pin him to advance in the tournament. At that point, they did go to intermission. Well, this was a very, even though the crowd wasn't too big, as you know, maybe, I don't know if EAW was not expecting too big of a crowd for the show, and they didn't have like all the seats placed in the back of the room. The place where they normally sell food and drinks, all they were selling were drinks because they had EAW merchandise set up in that area. But the show resumes with Marty Speedman coming out, and he's interrupted by 3 guys in a suit, and the other guy who wasn't wearing a suit was, I guess, the wrestler of the group. I'm guessing those 4 men were the commission, and they had one of them had a crowbar in his hand, a big, look like a crowbar. He attacked Speedman with it, and then the guy that wasn't wearing a suit, he proceeds to put Speedman in a rear naked choke and seemingly chokes him out, and they're on his case for airing a video on his YouTube channel and all this other stuff. And damn, I forgot what. But you know, they left Speedman laying, and I don't know. I mean, again, there were. I didn't mention this earlier, but there was trouble with the microphones during this segment. I don't understand. And, you know, at the risk of sounding rude, but NYW, New York Wrestling Connection, why can't we get some microphones that won't coop out? Although, even because this crowd was not very big tonight, I didn't bring my megaphone out into play. And I really, you know, I think, you know, that's what I think, you know. So always trouble with those microphones, it seems. But then the action resumes as we have another tag team match, which saw Nobody's Better Michael Mistretta and James Ramison take on the Dream Machine, Jaden Vallow and the Man Bun Jesus Johnny Radke, who were coming to the ring by the Groovy Grizzly, and they entered the ring to I forgot the band who sings the song, but the song's called Hooked on a Feeling, which was featured in the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack movies. And the Dream Machine were victorious over Mistretta and Ramison. I gotta say, Ramison had some nice gear on. I guess that was some new gear, because I haven't seen him wear that before, unless the pants were different. Next out comes the Starlet Champion, Tina San Antonio. She takes the microphone and announces to the crowd that unfortunately her scheduled opponent, Melina, was unable to make the show. But then she's interrupted by the Shook Crew's Max Caster, and basically offered to have a match with her right then and there. And Caster, I hadn't seen him wrestle since late last year. I think he's back from injury. The match went on, and at one point Caster had like kicked or tried to kick Tina in the groin, but I guess the ladies I guess don't have what men have, and she ended up kicking. I think she set him up in the corner and gave him the Shattered Dreams, what Goldust did, and she ended up giving him a body slam, and she pinned him to, I guess, retain the Starlet Championship. But Tina San Antonio was victorious in this matchup. And then the main event was a four-way matchup with all the winners from the first round of the tournament, as we saw Trevor Murdoch versus the Sicilian Slammer versus Bull James versus Cowboy James Storm, in a very hard-hitting matchup. At one point, Storm and Murdoch were on the floor, and they both gave each other they purple nurpled each other. And I forgot how, but Sicilian Slammer pins Bull, was it? Or someone else. He pinned somebody to become EAW's first ever heavyweight champion. And Slammer, I think, was on the microphone afterwards, and I forgot what he said to the ring announcer. Very good way to end a debut. Great debut. Great way to end Survive the Night. But it's time for the personal notes. It was great seeing Donnie.
This station is Massapequa Park.
Greg Gruber. I noticed Aaron there. Shane. I think Joe Bernard was in the building. There was there was one memorable quote. Yeah. Fuck Corona! Fuck Corona! Somebody in the crowd, when I think the ring announcer mentioned, when he thanked the crowd for coming out despite what's going on in the world right now. Ooh, damn, I'm hungry. No return date was announced for EAW's next event. I certainly hope EAW will come back in the future. I forgot to mention, nice seeing Steven Scogan there. Oh, man. Man. Oh, but I don't know if I was I know the show was already over, but I don't know if it was before I went out the door or before I went to use the bathroom before leaving the place. The Dream Machine, Jaden Vallow and Johnny Radke were noticed me, and I guess they were thrilled that I made the show. And Radke, I don't know if that was Radke. I don't know if that was
The next station is
Radke, I don't know if that was your mother who came to me before the show, addressing me as Mr. Lottie and asking about the difference between VIP and GA tickets for this very show tonight. I think that might have been her because she was recording your match. And I think she had a Man Bun, was that a Man Bun Mania or Man Bun Jesus t-shirt she had on? Okay. Damn. Ow. Also, I did notice in attendance that one lady who frequents NYWC events, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get to meet her. She wasn't outside before the crowd came in, and she eventually came inside the building, and I just wasn't really up for it, and that's just I pretty much cracked under pressure again. And I don't know, maybe I'm never going to get to meet that lady. I mean, I don't want to turn to somebody about this. It's just, and I know someone out there probably tell me, don't torture yourself and all this other gaga out there. But, again, EAW, you had a great event. Sadly, my fellow NYWCites backed out of this a few days before the show, a few days ago, before this took place. Hopefully they'll come for when EAW does return, whenever that will be. And
this is the train to Penn Station. The next station is Seaford.
Damn. Man. And I think that will pretty much do it. You know, pretty good show on your part. So I gotta say, EAW, 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 EAW. It's in the wrestling. And hopefully I'll meet that one lady at NYW, who frequents NYWC someday. I just don't want to turn to somebody to help me on this one. And I don't want to like request her on Facebook or Instagram. Hope everybody enjoyed this one.